Oh yeah. By the way, the name of this video is, and I'm going to have it in the description, it's called The Look of the Irish. And it's not L-U-C-K, it's L-O-O-K. The Look. She's talking about redefining the look of the Irish. The same look we have since the last Ice Age. Here it comes.
Hello everyone. I am the daughter of second-generation Palestinian immigrants. I was born in Dubai, but I am not a citizen of the United Arab Emirates because you do not acquire citizenship in Dubai unless your parents were original nationals. So I'm not Palestinian either.
She said she spent 20 years in Dubai. They have a good policy, so I'm fair play to them for keeping it and for implementing it. And she didn't seem to talk too badly about Dubai there for doing that. She just said that's the way they do things, and that's it. You just have to deal with it. And that's the way they would think of it if we started to implement these policies as well. Unless your parents are nationals, you're not going to be made a citizen, and that I don't see anything wrong with that. She just says there, no problem at all. Where I lived for 20 years, United Arab Emirates, they don't give out passports to people like that, so there's no problem. I'm not Palestinian either, because you know, like all the stuff's going on in Palestine, she's saying there. So I heard Ireland were giving out passports to fucking everybody, so I decided to become Irish. More or less, that's what she's saying.
So that meant that I spent well over 2 decades in the country that I was born and raised in, feeling like an outsider and a foreigner. And I couldn't shake it off. I couldn't shake that feeling off no matter what I did. And when I got a chance to move to Ireland, I jumped at it. You know, it was an opportunity to start a new life, to build a family. And I did. And within a year of moving to Ireland, I knew I was home. I can't explain why. I still have no clue what was the cause of it. But I knew I was more at home in Dublin than I ever had been in Dubai.
Right, she doesn't know what caused it, it's just the feeling she had that she was Irish. As soon as she got to Ireland and stepped off the boat, she said she was Irish in her heart. She knew. She doesn't know what it is that explains it. She can't tell what the thing is that caused it, but she just knew she was Irish. And if this is the criteria it takes for people to be Irish, we are going to have a serious problem on our hands in this country when our population goes to about 50 million or 100 million in no length, because all these people decide that they're Irish all of a sudden, and all they have to do is get some sort of a shitty job here and stay under the radar for 5 to 6 years, and that's it. Then they are actually Irish. But that's not the problem, right? That's not what my problem is with this video at all. I'm going to skip on a bit of this. My problem with this video is this woman is trying to redefine what Irish people should, how Irish people should act, and what Irish people should look like, and how we should see Irish people.
And I suppose the soul knows where its home is. So in view of that, I decided that I would work on becoming...
Okay, well, my soul yearns to be a Chinese. I really do. I always think about it. I actually think I am a Chinese. I just need to get to China, and then I will be a Chinese. This is true. I can't explain it. I can just tell you, my soul knows.
An Irish citizen, and the application to gain your Irish citizenship takes a few years. So I applied for the citizenship, but also decided that I had to do my homework and become a real Irish person. So
a real Irish person? What do you have to do there?
So I studied the country and its people and its ways. I worked on my accent. I used to have a really Oxford accent, so this is good.
She had an Oxford accent. So anyone that ever had an Oxford accent could never be Irish. That's just a given.
Good. I also got a job. I started to pay my taxes, of course.
Oh yeah, that's you're brilliant. That's it. You're Irish. As soon as she's after you know why she's saying that? She's trying to fucking soften you up and soften everybody up, but it's not working because of what she says later on. She paid her taxes. Whoopity doo that fucking day. You paid your taxes. Good girl. You're the same as every other Irish person that pays their taxes. Nothing special about you paying your taxes either. I attempted Irish lessons and that went really badly. I volunteered with a charity. I was on the board of directors of a charity called First Life. That's not volunteering. On the board of directors. Even if it is volunteering, she's on the board of directors. It's not like she's doing any charity work. She's sitting around fucking doing nothing.
Ireland. So I gave my heart, time and effort towards the betterment of the country that I believed in, that I wanted to be a member of.
Yeah, just want to forward this on because that's all good, yeah, that's all good stuff. Let's get to the meat of this discussion. What is her reason for being up on this stage? Here it comes now. It's coming up in the next few seconds.
And the years rolled by. I eventually got my day in the Four Courts where I stood and took the oath and obtained the right to become an Irish citizen. Yay! Since that day, I get asked on almost weekly basis, where are you from? And I reply, I'm Irish, knowing fully well that an inevitable second question was on the way. Oh no, where are you really from? And that second question, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm going to talk about today. The question of where I'm really from stems from a mindset that identifies the Irish look as one that's stereotypically monochromatic, probably freckled. More importantly, it's a look that is outdated, and I'll tell you why it's outdated. Over the last 10 to 15 years, we've been welcoming into our country people from all over the world, immigrants, foreign workers.
More's the pity.
EU citizens, a lot of whom have left as soon as the Celtic Tiger crumbled, but a lot of whom have stayed, and the Central Statistics Office proves that many of them actually claimed this country as their second home, stayed, built a new life, became Irish citizens, had Irish children. In the same period of time, we have also been loving and adopting children from African and Asian countries.
Who's this we? I haven't been. I don't know anybody. I know a lot of people. I don't know anybody that has adopted an African child or an Asian child. Not one person. But she's saying, we've been doing this for years. I think maybe a tiny minority, a tiny amount of people maybe have. This isn't that fucking common thing, the way she's trying to make it out, that we adopt children from Africa and from the Middle East. It's not a common thing. That is absolutely very rare. But anyway, go ahead there. You seem to know it all. Go ahead.
Sans freckles, you know.
Sand is freckles.
And we've been bringing these children up as our...
Sand is freckles, she's trying to say that means that they're sort of Irish because, I don't know, they come from where there's sand, I don't know, whatever the fuck she's talking about.
Own as Irish children who wouldn't know themselves to be anything else. If we do not...
Well, it depends, right? We're bringing in these children from other countries and she's saying that they wouldn't know themselves to be anything else only Irish. Well, I know of a fella that was born in Ireland, raised here, got the best of everything, free healthcare, free education, and he's rotting away in a jail in Egypt. Ibrahim Halawi, or Halawa, whatever he's called. He thought, we all thought he was Irish. He was born, he was raised here, but any pictures I see of him, it's in Egypt, over in a foreign country, trying to overthrow a foreign government with his Muslim clothes on him and his Muslim hat. He does not see him being Irish as his first identity. That comes way after being a Muslim and being a part of the Egyptian tribe that he sees himself as. And that's why there was no other Irishman that was born in Ireland that was over there trying to overthrow a foreign government, only him. Anyways, let her go on.
Have the conversation now, and if we do not start redefining what the look of the Irish is.
Now, she's after saying in that video there that she's upset because somebody said to her, where are you from? And she said, I'm Irish. And they said, yeah, we know, but where are you really from? And she is saying here that this was the most dreadful thing that she could have said to somebody, where are you really from? It's obvious that when you look at this woman, that she's not ethnically Irish, okay? She has black eyes. Nobody in Ireland has black eyes. Nobody in Ireland has that skin that is that brown. So when somebody says to her, it's a small fucking price to pay when you're, after becoming a citizen of this country, you're getting free everything, from healthcare to children's allowance to everything, fucking everything she's getting, okay? And she has been put out by somebody asking her, where are you really from, or what ethnicity are you, is really what the question is, okay? It's just an Irish person is sort of asking it in a simple sort of a way, the way an Irish person would. Where are you really from?
These children, these Irish children, my own daughter included, are going to very shortly move into secondary education, higher education.
Yeah, they are. In Ireland, thanks to the Irish people and the Irish country that has taken you in and given you the chance to become Irish and has given your children the chance to go, as you said, to secondary education, to higher education. You wouldn't have got that chance in Dubai, and you would certainly have not got that chance in Palestine. So if the biggest price you have to pay for that is somebody asking, what ethnicity are you? Because you do not look Irish, okay? Irish people are as white as snow, and we have been since the last ice age, and we always will be, I hope and pray. But if your biggest fucking fear is being asked where you're originally from, after getting all the privileges that an Irish person gets, well, I'm sorry to say, it's a small fucking price to pay. It's a small price to pay for all those luxuries. Okay, that's what it is.
The job market, and get asked
and the job market.
Where they
that's a privilege too.
From. And that isn't fair.
It's not fair to ask them where
we
they come from.
Lots of theories
that's what she's saying.
About the Irish identity.
We don't have theories, okay? She says there we've lots of theories about the Irish identity. We don't have lots of theories. We know Irish people are Irish people, and they've come from Ireland, as I said, since the last ice age, and they're white people. That's it. There is no more theories. Unless she's talking about like the Norman invasions 1,000 years ago and whatever else, stuff that is completely irrelevant to her and to me. And as for the past 1,000 years, there's no theories. We know exactly who we are and where we come from. So there's no theories. Okay.
The quincunx that Seamus Heaney imagined was a 5-pillared structure with prior Irelandness at its heart, an Ireland that predates our history, our wars, and our politics. Surrounding it were towers in the north, south, east, and west, Joyce's, Yeats, MacNeice's, and Edmond Spencer's in Kilcorman Castle in Cork. And he theorized that from the top of each of these towers, we look at a very different Ireland than we would have had we been standing on another one. Kilcorman Castle represents the anglicisation of Ireland that had its effects on our identity and on our culture.
You cannot tell the difference by looking at an English person and an Irish person unless they open their mouths. But when you come, we can tell straight away. And that's why you will always be asked where you really are from. And it's not a big imposition to be asked that.
Our identity and on our culture.
That's what the whole point of this video is.
The Protestant Irish.
She's trying to say the whole point of this video is so that she will not be asked where she's really from. Now she's trying to say the Protestant Irish claim to be Irish as well. Well, of course they do. They're here like hundreds of years, and as I said, they look Irish, and Irish look like them. That's the big difference.
Had also their effects and their own unique aspect of what Ireland looks like. Joyce saw a modern, contemporary country. Yeats wanted the revival of the traditions of the Celtic. Each one of them unique in their Irishness, and yet all Irish.
Yet all white Irish, yes.
We can no more deny a unionist, for example, his Irishness than we can a Republican.
No. Nobody's saying we can. A unionist and a Republican. There's no difference between the two of them, only different beliefs.
So what I'm saying is if we can accept such differing views of what an Irish person is or believes.
They're not differing views. All they are is people with different beliefs. You're trying to say that people who have different colours and are from different parts of the world should be just Irish, because if they feel a little bit Irish, they can't really tell what it is, but they feel a little bit Irish. As I said, I feel Chinese all the time.
How can we let something like the colour of our skin change our perspective of what an Irish person is?
Or like that racial preference doesn't exist. That I don't have an in-group racial preference for my race. Of course I do. And everybody does, whether you want to suppress it or not, or whether you want to deny it or not. You do. You will always feel uncomfortable if you are a white person and you're walking down a neighbourhood and there's not only black people all around the place. Of course you're going to feel uncomfortable. Same way as if you are a black person and you're walking through a neighbourhood of not only white people and there's hostility in the air, you're going to feel uncomfortable because you're not with your own kind. This is basic fucking stuff. This is going back. People have known this for millenniums. So
we are a far more contemporary country than we give ourselves credit for.
Oh, we are, yeah. We're contemporary. Way too contemporary.
And I know we don't like boasting about how great we are, but we are great. You know? We voted for gay marriage. The first country in the world to do so.
I didn't.
We embraced the rainbow flag on Pride Week in every single street on every city of this country. We love it, we accept it, we are happy about it. So let's apply that same love, acceptance and happiness to those of us who have a different colour skin than the porcelain hue that we've attached to the old-fashioned look of the Irish.
The old-fashioned look. You're trying to say that my porcelain hue is old-fashioned.
So what I'm asking of you today is to just reflect on what you perceive to be an Irish look. What do you think an Irish person should look like? Because this is something we need to do now before it's too late, before the conversation happens around fixing a problem that we could have sorted out from the very beginning.
You know what my fix would be for this problem? Get rid of the likes of this, and stop handing out these passports and these citizenships and having these ceremonies that Fine Gael have been having since 2011 that have the country in a heap. Okay, reverse all of this. That would be a much easier, better, quicker solution than what she's trying to do. She's trying to change a culture.
And the next time you meet somebody who's Irish and maybe looks like me, or maybe a bit darker, please don't deny them that Irishness. Please don't ask them where they really came from. Affirm it and accept it. And if you are really curious, because I know we're nosy and we like to get our noses in everybody's business, ask them about their heritage. I can see that you're Irish, or I know.
So if you see somebody that's darker than her, and she looks Middle Eastern, she's saying, or even darker, so somebody said it's black, you might as well say, someone's jet black, like Eddie Murphy, the likes of him, right, you see him. Don't assume that he's not Irish. Don't just assume that. Affirm that he's Irish. And just take that as the answer. Well, no, I won't. I will never. I will always be. If somebody says they're Irish and I ask them and they're black, I'm going to be wondering where they're really from. And I always will. And that's not going to change. So if the culture is going to be changed, the Irish culture, she's going to have to do it with the next generation, because as far as I'm concerned, I will not be changing anything to suit this woman. I'm just going to let her finish off here the last few seconds of her drivel.
You're Irish. Tell me about your heritage. Tell me...
Oh yeah, she said there, right, if somebody's black or that, and you should go up to them and say, I can see that you're Irish. How can you see that they're Irish? You can see that they're not Irish, is what I would be thinking. So I'm going to ask you what about your heritage. It's such nonsense, really.
Please don't deny them that Irishness. Please don't ask them where they really came from. Affirm it and accept it. And if you are really curious, because I know we're nosy and we like to get our noses in everybody's business, ask them about their heritage. I can see that you're Irish, or I know you're Irish. Tell me about your heritage. Tell me about your background. Tell me about your ancestry. It's only a little step, a very small one, but it's where change begins. Thank you very much.
I will not be changing, and I will not be doing that.